Good evening, everybody. So, welcome to our fireside chat on empowering MSMEs through ONDC. We have Badrinath Mishra ji, Vice President of Network Expansion at ONDC. Before we spark the session, I have to tell you this, that Badriji has played a very important role in the evolution of Indian e-commerce. And in his role as a Vice President of the Network Expansion at ONDC, his evolutionary role is becoming more and more crucial for us. So the whole revolutionary idea of this institution of ONDC, where the evolution is from figures to philosophy, is from integrating the masses to classes, and Badriji's efforts and role in this evolutionary process are to reckon with. So, sir, there are plethora of questions running through my mind, but I know, as I have already been warned, that we are running short of time, so I'll try to summarize it as short as possible.
Sure.
But the term itself, ONDC, the moment we hear of it, it's like we are unaware. So I would request you to give us a simple definition, जिससे कि शायद सबको समझ में आ जाए कि what is this platform ONDC is.
Sure. Thank you, Narita. And thank you, Varun, Qbuster, and the entire fraternity here for having me here. Couple of house rules. We always love to put some house rules before we start because we're running out of time. Please be interactive for you. And for next 15 minutes, let's forget how the traditional way of e-commerce happens in India or anywhere in the world. For us, Narita, probably will be simple. We'll not talk technology. Let the techies do the French. We'll talk English and Hindi. Okay? Thank you for giving me this chance. So ONDC stands for Open Network for Digital Commerce. Simple language mein, ONDC is everyone's commerce. Any product or any service which can be catalogued and allowed in India to be sold online can come on ONDC. What happened during pandemic when everybody was under lockdown, and as we know, everybody looks for amenities like commodities and essential goods, though they were available in our vicinity, but we could never access it digitally, being a country with very high penetration of internet and smartphone. Why? Apart from the 7-8 top cities where the pantry and the big basket were delivering, rest of the India, which we call Bharat, real Bharat, had no access or no bridge between that demand and supply. So ONDC's objective is how we can make a population scale inclusion of buying and selling. हर भारतीय shopping कर पाए e-commerce में, and every seller both shoppers को discover कर पाए over e-commerce. That's the objective. The mission is how we can democratize this entire phenomenon. That's the mission. Yeah.
So nice to hear your vision, sir. And as the topic, embrace topic is here, focus on the micro, small, medium enterprises. So if you can enlighten us that how this network empowers the micro, small, medium enterprises, because there is always a big market for big players, but how the integration will happen for small enterprises so that there can be free and fair competition and we can avoid cartelizations.
Sure. So for everybody's knowledge, quick trivia. 30% of our GDP is actually managed by MSMEs, the micro, small and medium enterprises. Now with ONDC, Narita, we have another letter added to this MSM, which is N, the nano entrepreneurs, we are talking about the craftsmen, the artisans, the individual which runs their cycle repairing shop probably, or sells on a thela, the ready wala. So we are talking about that everybody has a product or service to sell. Can they reach to the right audience and a wider audience through ONDC? So yes, MSM and N, they are our focus. How we are doing it, if you see how ONDC is constructed, ONDC is a protocol. So ONDC has come up with a protocol which unbundles three major aspects of e-commerce business. One is the buying side aspects, where the customer comes to any platform, looks for a product, adds to the cart and checks out, right? The other set of aspects are where a seller comes to the platform, adds products, does pricing, does inventory management, and does order management. We call that seller side activities. The third side of activity is logistics side of activity, where if it is a product which is sold online, has to be delivered, the logistics comes into picture. So what ONDC protocol does, it unbundles these three aspects to three different nodes, the technology nodes, and invites multiple players to come and contribute to individual nodes. What happens? Unlike any marketplace, where the marketplace or a D2C website or application wants to control everything, मेरा product, मेरा customer, मेरे way में elevation होगा, logic of cataloging मैं define करूँगा, search result page मेरे control में रहेगा, and कुछ ही लोगों को हम मौका देंगे बेचने के लिए, and मेरे customer खरीदेंगे. Now that is very old and traditional way of doing business. If you want to empower India, which is our Bharat, then we need to think something very different and very radical. Where ONDC comes into picture, unbundles these three aspects, invites players like Paytm, PhonePe, Airtel, who has massive customer base. Kotak Mahindra Bank, IDFC Bank, State Bank of India, they're all in the integration phase, where they bring in millions of customers, but they have never done e-commerce. They do banking, they do other telecommunication. But there is an opportunity for them, for their customers, think that there can be so many products available as a new opportunity of business, and their customers can be benefited. Where the sellers on the other node of ONDC bring millions of catalog. And who are they? Exactly like QBuster. QBuster consolidates thousands of retailers and kiranas to digitize their catalog. Imagine QBuster comes as a supply side application, Paytm, PhonePe come as buyer side application, Narita is a PhonePe user, I am a Paytm user. We both discover QBuster in the same way. All the catalog that QBuster has brought onto the network are discoverable to both of us, and we shop to our convenience. Now Dunzo, Loadshare, Shiprocket, Delivery, eCart, they all come as logistics side application. So QBuster doesn't need to look for any tie-up with any logistics application, they are actually available there. Think of a decentralization at scale. And you know what? Surprisingly, Narita, it was not happening in e-commerce. Though, think of if you have a problem with your credit card, you give a call. The credit card company or the bank doesn't receive the call. The BPO receives the call, right? The call center receives the call. The car that you drive, they don't manufacture the tire that is fixed with the car. The tire is manufactured by somebody else. Why that happens? That happens because of higher efficiency and better cost. Because that outsourcing or decentralization adds a lot of value and efficiency to the entire system. But still you get a seamless result. ONDC, for the first time in the entire globe, and proudly we say this is another public digital good for India, free for everyone to adopt, is now creating a seamless integration and seamless result on e-commerce. MSMEs, which are our backbone of the country, are not to be discarded, and they do not need to look for the way to go to any marketplace or create their own D2C site. Rather, our seller applications like QBuster, they will help the MSMEs in an assisted model. Why MSMEs are not digitized yet? Because they are very focused on their own core product or the service they offer. E-commerce is a bit difficult task. E-commerce has been always the big guy's game. Now MSMEs to come into picture, now there is a helping hand like a seller application who brings them on board. If we see the finer aspects of coming online is A, digitization of catalog, B, the inventory management. C, when there is an order, the order has to be managed. Now, every part of it is being managed by the seller applications like QBuster. There are many. On ONDC now, today, 32 different seller applications have gone live.
That's
And
interesting.
yeah. And they have, today as we speak, the morning data is 51 lakh products in Bangalore and Delhi across categories like food and beverages, grocery, fashion, home, agri output. They are live today on ONDC compliant buying applications like Paytm, PhonePe, AirPay, My Store, Craftsvilla, Meesho. They're all available there. So imagine a world for MSMEs where somebody is there to help in digitizing their catalog, somebody is there to help in managing order and inventory efficiently, and they do not put a single penny in acquiring a customer. The customer acquisition cost is zero. Many marketing companies will blame me, but the CAC is zero now. Because PhonePe, Paytm, Meesho, they bring in more than 300 million monthly transacting users to the network. So those users are accessing this catalog. They don't need to put money to access an user now. The problem to be solved probably is how we retain the experience for these MSMEs. How we can ensure that their catalog is discoverable and their catalog has right relevant information for a right conversion.
थैंक यू सर. मुझे नहीं लगता कि किसी ने आज तक इतने सिंप्लीफाइड स्ट्रक्चर्ड वे में हमें ONDC प्लेटफॉर्म के बारे में बताया होगा या कहीं शायद लिखा भी हुआ है. He has given a bird's eye view for us and he deserves a great round of applause for this, because he is somebody having this revolutionary thought and one of own kind of pioneers in this field and transforming it from figures to a philosophy, which is really amazing, sir. Now, this is increasing more inquisitiveness on me, क्योंकि इतने simplified तरीके से अब जब चीज़ें समझ में आने लगती हैं तो और ज़्यादा सवाल जो है ना दिमाग में आने लगते हैं. So, sir, एक बहुत famous caption है, which is flashing across the internet. Okay, so that ONDC's struggle could chill Amazon and Flipkart's spines. And it has been immensely appreciated by you. So I really want your take on this, क्योंकि ये एक caption है और बड़ा ही fiery caption है, लेकिन इसके मायने बहुत ज़्यादा हैं. It has a deeper meaning.
Yes.
It is much more than what is catching the eye. So I really want you to elaborate on this. क्योंकि ये जो सेशन है ONDC का and the role in which Mr. Badri ji is, this is the backbone of this digital commerce. So we really want to know कि ये caption किस बारे में है. And straight on, I'm just handing it over to you because it has been flashing across the internet.
No, thank you for bringing it up. So chilling the spine definitely doesn't mean a threat. Chilling the spine here is excitement. So ONDC is created for everyone, as I said. For a small nano entrepreneur who has been an artisan, who is weaving somewhere in remote Banaras or in Bengal or in Tamil Nadu. And also for the big players like Amazon. It's an opportunity. You know, if you see the Amazon, the biggest cost that Amazon or any marketplace of that stature would build on their P&L would be the customer acquisition cost, right? And definitely, if you see the supply side of it, they have a huge setup of building the supply side and maintaining the supply side. Now think of an opportunity, and to give you a number, it's two-digit in millions. If we talk about Amazon's monthly transacting user. But the moment you come to ONDC, that means if Amazon comes as a supply side application, a seller application to ONDC, and brings the entire catalog, they have now access to more than 300 million monthly transacting users at zero cost. That's a huge opportunity for any established players also in the market. Now think of the other opportunity. The moment Amazon comes as a buying application, Because it's an open network, every entity can play multiple roles to their core strength. The moment Amazon comes as a buying application, with best of the researched and pretty experienced buy flows and storefronts and customer experience that they have created, it will definitely be a blessing for all the small sellers who are coming through any seller application on ONDC, isn't it? So Amazon or any biggie, like for even the food giants, even the taxi aggregation giants, it's a huge opportunity to be a part of ONDC. And the question is whether yes or no. The question is when. And the right time will come. It's an opportunity for everyone.
That's interesting economic interpretation of digits, sir. मैंने तो पहली बार सुना है क्योंकि मैं economics background से हूँ, तो इतना बढ़िया economic interpretation वो भी digits का हो सकता है. This is really interesting. Now, being from the legal background, sir, I'll jump into the question for legal.
Difficult subject for me.
No, just one question, because this is what, in my opinion, कि अगर किसी institution को if it has to gain strength and teeth, so it has to be legally empowered. अगर उसको legally empower हम नहीं करते हैं तो उस institution के पास कोई power ही नहीं रहता है कि वो किसी तरह से penalize कर सके, कोई penalties लगा सके, binding बना सके इसे. So sir, to ensure this free and fair competition and to give a very fair platform, what legal framework, are there any, first of all, are there any legal frameworks and regulations that govern the operations of ONDCs, and especially for the embrace topic, empowering the MSMEs?
Yeah, so Narita, it's a wonderful question, and every entity, I see a lot of businesses here, and everybody, you're right. Without a strong legal framework, it's not there to scale, and we can't avoid any problem or complications in the business. So ONDC is not a regulator, by the way, but ONDC has certain rules. Every network participant who joins ONDC has to sign a legal document. We call it Network Participant Agreement or NP Agreement, where there are certain rules defined that how a community of sellers, buyers, and logistics providers, they should behave with each other. Now, if you see India and the law over here, every aspect of commerce which can be affected by any legal complication is already defined. So we are not here to redefine anything. If it is e-commerce, the e-commerce law and IT Act will come into picture. If there are information exchange, the data privacy law will come into picture. If it is e-commerce, the GST rules will come into picture, right? So everything is already set as law of the land. However, ONDC ensures that all the participants, they are bound with certain rules which they need to follow, and there are certain frameworks around how customer experience can be taken care of, how the money which is due for a seller can be safeguarded, how the data can be, cannot go to the wrong hand. So many frameworks are in place. We call them frameworks over APIs, and they are in place. It's not typical legal or regulation because ONDC also respects the law of land, but these frameworks are compulsory for every network participant to sign and follow.
So I guess it's a mutual process, like ONDC is empowering MSMEs, so with the integration of MSMEs, the platform is also going to be empowered.
Oh yes, absolutely. Because that's the real Bharat we all aim to see digitized version of it. Yes.
So, since the interplay of artificial intelligence tools, I mean, there are plethora of tools that are flooding the market now, and it is moving at a rocket speed. So the role, because it is a digital commerce, so the role the artificial intelligence and the further developed technologies that has to play in enhancing the customer integration, especially for MSMEs when they are using this ONDC platform. So if you can provide.
Sure, I think very relevant question for new age companies. So Narita, with your permission, I'll cover all the three aspects. Not only from a
Right, sir.
customer point of view, but also how it helps seller and how it is going to help them, the logistics players. So let's start with the seller, because from the supply side, the entire value chain starts. For a seller, and especially MSME seller, and if we come to the social enterprise of it, the biggest challenge is how they digitize their catalog. So we see a future, and lot many players, including Spine.ai and Google, they have started working on it with ONDC framework in mind, where we see a future where catalog as a service can be enabled on AI. That means, so for a retailer, for a kirana who has, for example, Parle-G biscuit, right? It's very difficult to shoot Parle-G and do a content on it. What he can best do is stock Parle-G and sell, right? So can AI help that kirana to digitize the entire catalog, which is already standardized, you know? Or this Parle-G, HUL, P&G, Johnson & Johnson of the world, they have standardized catalogs. And what these kirana sell, majorly their catalog, right? Can AI come into a picture where if I am a kirana and I have Parle-G and noodles, can they be easily identifiable on my shelf and can go live? AI pulling content from the source, doing a right imagery, and doing relevant content, take them live, right? We see a huge play with respect to catalog as a service. We see a huge play with respect to inventory management because they have low capital. And their inventory is also handful. They have walk-in customers and online customers, right? Can there be predictive intelligence through AI where they can better manage their inventory? If we come to the buying side, where the customers are there, it definitely starts with search, the relevant search result. It also starts with the effective buy flow, how quickly a product, a relevant product is discoverable. Now for everybody's information, I'm sure everybody knows about it. With AI, the search is moving from item to intent.
Right, sir.
So
Right.
Narita, if she loves palak paneer, she is no more going to search for palak and paneer. She is going to say that I'm going to cook palak paneer, get me a cart. So all ingredients are chosen, added to the cart for a checkout. The journey from item to intent can only happen through AI. And there are many. If you come to the logistics part of the business, the logistics is a very, very important part. The logistics players, imagine being a customer or a seller, we want our product to reach faster, or our product needs to be shipped faster. Now think of the hassle of logistics guys, where they need to align somebody to pick, they need to align their entire efficiency of the value chain. So everything can actually be predicted over AI with respect to what is the just-in-time requirement or how it is going to go to the peak and to the off hours, how they can optimize their efficiency. So definitely AI has huge play, and specifically with the MSME, I see a future where cataloging efficiency, more effective discoverability, vernacular search, and even vernacular listing. Because India is a country where only 10% of people can speak English.
Right.
Right? And 90% of them who are into business, they cannot learn English just to list their product. Can they list their product with a command, voice command in their own language? That's the possibility we see in the future with AI coming onto the network and playing a role.
Very rightly you have put it, sir. Now the next insight which I want from you is related to AI also, and I am not aversive to technology, but there are some drawbacks of the AI technology. As you rightly put it, that we are moving towards the intent. So we are disrupting the psychological patterns, the natural patterns that has to develop. So last but not the least, because already the board is showing time is up. So now considering the social factor, AI is diluting the social factor. And the whole idea and the philosophy behind this ONDC platform, it's quite revolutionary. And I have also read another caption that you have played a major role, he has played a major role in making the online shopping a social phenomena. It's like he wants to develop the shopping but doesn't want to disrupt the social phenomena, the social factor, and wants to strike a balance. So there where his role becomes very crucial and very important. But sir, how would ONDC would steer the mechanisms for socially integrating this e-commerce and strike a balance between the horizontal and vertical integration of e-commerce platforms within MSMEs?
Difficult question, I must admit. I'll try. Okay. So, I'll stick to the business aspect of AI for the sake of the audience. Hygiene is we have to use AI very cautiously with a lot of, because there is no regulation yet. And AI is nobody's control, right? It can evolve itself. So whenever we use AI, there has to be absolutely right people on place and with a lot of caution, right? Let's see the positive side of AI, like the brighter side of the AI. The brighter side of AI is definitely going to help MSMEs, as I said, starting from their listing to their sales, right? Now, if I talk about the other aspect of AI where we are talking about social phenomenon with respect to e-commerce, right? So for everybody's knowledge, there is a concept called Pinduoduo. There is a company called Pinduoduo in China who has actually revolutionized the entire social buying. We see a future in India where starting from agri input, if you go to villages, the farmers, they get together and they buy the seeds and the fertilizers. And the moment they come together and put an order, it's better unit economics for the supplier and it's better in terms of cost and efficiency for the farmers also. Can we replicate it to the level of regular consumption? We see a future where communities coming together and doing a shopping, communities coming together and doing a selling. So with AI in picture, with even the huge evolution of social platforms like Facebook, Insta, we all are there for interaction socially, right? Can that interaction be elevated to business? Of course, it has started. It has started at an individual level, one-to-one level, but we see a future where it is going to start acting at many-to-many level. So social phenomenon of buying and shopping is soon going to be a reality in India with AI in picture and ONDC being a network enabling selling, buying and logistics applications or platforms.
Thank you, sir. Already they have started the timer, I guess so. So I'll just wrap it up. You have provided very precious insights into the role of ONDC and in empowering MSMEs, not just the MSMEs, but the whole integration of the digital e-commerce for everyone. Not just the customer base is going to be integrated, but transparency is going to be enhanced and everybody is going to get a fair play. So, sir, we are looking up to you with hope, with faith, and for sparking a new era of digital commerce, which is better, more fair, more free, more competitive and integrated. So I can close it with the caption that छोटे enterprises को भी आप छूने के लिए आसमान दे रहे हैं. And faith is the runner of everything. उम्मीद पे दुनिया कायम है and you're giving the hope and we have a lot of faith in the ONDC and we are really looking up to you. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for putting it in such a comprehensive manner.
Thanks for being a great audience.